What is up, YouTube? Trade Mo James here with Zone Trading Group. This is my first video as Zone Trading Group. All right, we're going to do a backtest video with supply and demand. We're going to be using the US30 chart. And guys, it doesn't matter if you're trading Forex, futures, or the stock market. These zones work for any market. They really do, and any time frame can work as well. If you're scalping, day trading, or swing trading, it does not matter. These supply and demand zones work. Now, first, like I said, we gotta understand what supply and demand is. Supply and demand is aggressive selling and buying, all right? That is where price is coming down to a certain point and leaving very quickly, and going up to a certain point and coming down very quickly. That is supply and demand. So when you can identify these zones, I talk about it all the time, you can make a lot of money in the Forex, futures, or stock markets. All right, so let's jump right into this, guys. This is a 5-minute time frame, just so we can see a lot of action and how you can sit here on your chart and make a lot of money trading these zones. Before I do that though, guys, make sure you hit the like button on this video. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you have that notification bell turned on so you get notified when I drop a video or go live. All right, guys, I'm looking at the US30, okay? Like I said, we're gonna use this chart just for back testing purposes, okay? And so let's get right into this. So what do I see here? I see a couple supply and demand zones, ones that I would have taken trades on if I had been in the moment and been trading this on that particular day. So right now, let's draw this in. So I see, where on the chart do I see aggressive selling and buying? Starting from the left. All right, let's look at the big one here. So I see a really nice one. Let's just see, I mean, there's one right here, there's one right here, but we're gonna use this one just for the video, okay? Now, what you wanna do is you wanna identify where these zones are, okay? Because if I'm on a 5-minute time frame, you gotta be careful because there can be some variance in here, okay? So basically the idea is that you wanna wait for price to come down with a lot of momentum, a lot of movement, and leave very, very quickly, all right? With almost no resistance. And what do I see here? I see that happen right here. Price came down out of this demand zone, came down, formed a new, out of the supply zone, formed a new demand zone, and left real quick. Now, you don't want to take the trade here. You really wouldn't know to take the trade here, all right? But what you got to do is you got to wait for that retest, because almost all the time it's going to come back to that zone it left, and then it's going to make that bigger move, all right? It's kind of like a last kiss in Forex, the same kind of situation, right? Break, come back, and then make a higher move or a lower move. All right, so price came down here, it came down, it formed a demand zone, and what happened? If we zoom in here, we'll see price literally came up here and came back down to our zone. This is gonna be your entry right here, all right? This would have been your entry, and you would have made, you know, quite a bit of money on this move, and that's just scalping the 5-minute time frame. Now, if we pull our zone to the right, guys, a lot of the times these supply and demand zones are wet until they get hit, you know, 2 or 3 times. So you can use these zones multiple times, not just one time, right? This was the first time it got hit. So it came down, made a high, came back down, retested, and this is your entry point back in the zone, and you made a lot of money here. Now, stop loss, if you're gonna be using a stop loss, you gotta put it at structure, right? Because there could be some variance here. Price could have came down here and wicked out and then came back up. You don't wanna get stopped out, that's the worst, right? So you always gotta be putting your stop loss at structure, and structure would have been about right here. Okay, structure would have been about right here. So my stop loss would have been about right here. And if I look at my, I don't have my tool pulled up. I'm not gonna look for it in this video, but you can decide, and you can see if you're getting 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, whatever. On this move, we would have got about 2.5 to 1. All right, and you put your stop loss down here, structure. So if you get stopped out, it is what it is. Move on to the next trade. All right, but we'll remove this line for now. We're gonna find another one. Now, if I pull my zone to the right, and I keep pulling it to the right, what do you see over here? This zone got hit again. All right, got hit once again. And like I said, there was some variance here. So if you entered in the middle here, you were in a little bit of drawdown, but look what happened here out of the zone. We had huge gains out of this zone. And if you had the, you know, the balls to hold this past these 4 levels of structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would have made quite a bit of money on this trade. And that's just trading off the 5-minute time frame. Now, this was about a day's time, I think, roughly. So like I said, we found one nice zone here, got hit and made some gains. All right, then the next time price came back down to the zone, and it almost did it here too. Honestly, you could have pulled the zone a little higher and maybe used this zone again, but for the sake of the video, we're gonna leave it like this, because I want really solid touches in these zones. All right, this is for more advanced traders, and you could have took this trade here too based on a few other things. But like I said, right here, nice double bottom, and we had really big gains out of this demand zone here. Let's find a supply zone. All right, let's find a supply zone. Let's remove this zone and find a nice supply zone on a random area on the chart. All right, I see one right here. All right, I see one right here. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm looking for aggressive selling, right? That's what a supply zone is. So aggressive selling on the chart, where I see price come up, ladder up, and then just leave really fast. that's going to be a supply zone. So I'm going to draw in from the wick to the base. All right, wick to the base, and I'm going to pull this to the right. Now, excuse me. Now you see that there's not a lot of action in between here, but next time price came back up to the zone, what happened? You already knew what to do. You entered the trade here right in the middle of the zone, and you would have, you know, win in some slight drawdown, because I like to enter right in the middle of the zone, and then boom, you make your gains. All right, you can make your gains right out of this zone, or you can wait for the retest, which didn't actually happen on this trade. So I might have not taken this trade. I like to take the retest. That's just me, but some people just like to straight take the touch points. All right, so if you got in the zone here, you made a lot of money. In fact, if you held through all this, which it's kind of hard to do because you never know if it's going to reverse on you, you made quite a bit of money here on this trade. All right, most people probably take profit at structure, which is about right here. So that would have been a nice trade. You give yourself a good little profit, taking profit there. All right, so that's a supply zone. Let's go ahead and find another one here for you guys. And we knew there was no buying there, by the way. Why do I know there's no buying? Because the price just left real quick. So you got to be able to identify the price action, right? That's just what you got to do. You got to be able to identify the price action. All right, let's go to another one over here, and we'll find one. Here's a decent one. So price going up, right? Price coming up out of this demand zone right here, and boom, came up and just left real quick. So I would mark that on my chart. I would mark wick to base. All right, and I would mark this up, and I would sit here and I would literally wait for this to get hit again. Now, like I said, you can take supply and demand zone trades in between waiting here. There are some all inside of here. That's a little bit more advanced, and we'll save that for another video, but just know that you don't have to just be sitting here waiting. You can take trades in between waiting for the big ones, all right? But if we look to the right here, we waited, no action, no touch points, and then boom, as soon as price even touched the bottom of this zone, you see right here, price left very, very quickly out of this zone, all right? So if you took a trade here, you know, take profit at structure right about there, that's some good gains for you right there. That's a solid trade. I would have took that trade for sure. I would have took that trade for sure. So that's a supply zone. Let's find another demand zone. Guys, like I said, I get asked this all the time. Does it work in futures, Forex, and stock market? It works in any market, guys. Supply and demand works in any market. There's always going to be supply and demand no matter what the market is, all right? There just is. Now, here's another one. Here's a nice little demand zone where price came down, and we'll do both, actually, because I see both here, all right? So we have our, we'll do the demand zone first. We have our demand zone, right? Price came down and left real quick. Mark that up. We pull to the right. What do we see? Price was doing its thing, came up, consolidated, came up, double top, and started the descent from this supply zone up here, and boom, down to our zone. Now, what happens? You're sitting here waiting for this, right? You're waiting for price to come down to your zone. So you get in the middle, you're in a little bit of drawdown here, all right? But it's okay. It's okay to be in drawdown as long as you're setting your stop loss at structure below, and we'd have to zoom out to find where structure is on this chart. I'm not gonna do that right now, but just know you always wanna put your stop loss at structure. Don't just set your stop loss right at the bottom of the zone, because you're gonna get stopped out a lot of the time. You gotta account for variance. You just have to. But let's just say for the sake of the video that you got in right in the middle of the zone right here, or even at the top of the zone right when it touched, because you saw in the last zone I drew, as soon as it touched the top of that zone, it fell. Or the bottom of that zone, it jumped, right? So like I said, let's just say you get at the top, you're in a little bit of drawdown here, but if you hold and you don't get stopped out, you're gonna inevitably make some really good profits right here. All right, so and basically, like I said, we find our supply and demand, we wait for the touch, we get in, we scalp it, we swing it, we day trade, depending on what time frame you're using. You can do this on any time frame, guys. You can do this on a 30-second time frame if you want. Or you can do it on a monthly time frame. There's no real rules on what time frame you have to use to do the supply and demand stuff. It works on any time frame. All right, but anyway, so price left real quick, we marked it up, and we waited. Price came back down. As soon as it hit our zone, we get in, we make profits right here, all right? And boom, and you could do this again and again and again. Next time it came down again, it hit. You could have scalped a little bit. You can do these a couple times. I would be careful doing it more than twice or 3 times, because they tend to, lose strength after the second or third time, and sometimes even after the first time. All right, let's move on. We're gonna do a few more of these just for this video. Let's see. Let's find a nice supply zone here. And like I said, guys, you got to know what you're looking at. Supply zones are always on the top with aggressive selling, and demand zones are always on the bottom with aggressive buying. And that is basically all you need to know to do this. I mean, if you just trade strictly off that, you can make money in these markets and be a profitable trader. You can. All right, I'm trying to find a good one here. Let's see. All right, then just so you know, this is the US30 chart on the 5-minute time frame. I guess we can let's go up to like an hour time frame. Let's go up to an hour time frame here. All right, and I already see a bunch all up in this chart. But for the sake of the video, we will just use, let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's use this one. All right, so aggressive selling. This is gonna be your supply zone. All right, price came down and it left very quickly. All right, 2 times. This one actually got hit. So I would be drawing my demand zone in like this. All right, just like this. And now just by looking at this little area right here, you could have made money 3 times. All right, well, 2 times really, because you don't really know this is a demand zone just yet. And it didn't leave too far. So like I said, I wouldn't necessarily have taken this trade, but this is a good example of what happens when you find these zones. So price came down real quick, it found some support and left real fast. All right, next time price came back down, what happened? You enter a trade, you get in just a slight bit of drawdown, it doesn't even really break the zone, and you make your gains. If you hold through this little pullback right here, you make a lot of money actually on this, and then the next time it comes down, what happens? You get in the trade here, you make some more money, all right? These zones keep getting hit, sometimes over and over and over and over and over, but like I said, I would recommend just using a zone once or twice, maybe 3 times at the max, and then just find an entire new setup. Like I said, this is exactly how it's supposed to look and work, and it really is this simple. If you guys can understand how to use these zones, how to identify them, and what actually is happening here, you can make money in these markets, guys. All right, I do it every day. You can make money in these markets. Here's another really nice demand zone. Really nice one. Cookie cutter here. All right, we pull to the right. So, okay, we know price came down, trickled with a double bottom, boom, left real quick. All right, so I drew my zone and I waited quite a long time. Sometimes you gotta wait a long time for these huge gains. All right, this is a 1 hour time frame, so this is actually quite a bit of profit. This is a lot of profit. If you were able to hold out and wait for this to get hit and finally get in the market here, you came in a little bit of drawdown, just a little bit, and then boom, you left really quick. All right, that was a really nice trade actually. I didn't take this trade, but I would have taken this trade. I would have had my zone marked in, I would have been waiting, and I would have set my alerts on TradingView, and as soon as price even came anywhere near here, I probably would have set an alert somewhere here at structure, all right, like this, and when it crossed this line, I would have got an alert, so I would have known, hey, I'm gonna start watching the US30, and when it hits my demand zone, I'm gonna get in the market, and I'm gonna make these gains. And that's exactly how you do it. That's exactly what you do. All right, and it's just that simple, guys. I mean, it's not that hard. All right, this supply and demand strategy works. It will always work, and there will never be a time where it doesn't work. All right, because supply and demand is the meat and potatoes of the market. All right, it's how the charts move. It's how the banks are moving the money. These are not retail traders stepping in and buying and selling here. All right, these are the banks moving the money. These are their zones. All right, and when you start trading with the banks, you start trading with the smart money, with the hedge funds. That's when you're going to make your real gains. That's when you're going to be able to sit there and say, okay, hey, this is easy. I can see where they're moving the money. Next time it comes back to my zone, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to get in. I'm going to make the money. And you know, that's just what they do. They layer these zones and they use them. And when they're done with them, they create new ones. And then, you know, you wait for those to get hit and you get in and you rinse and repeat. And you can do this on any time frame in any market, guys. Forex, futures, stock market, any time frame, any market. All right, guys, we did a couple back testing. We did a little bit of back testing here with supply and demand. I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm going to be doing more of these. If you guys like the videos that I'm dropping, you like supply and demand, you like price action, you like learning how to trade and become profitable, make sure you smash that like button. All right, make sure you hit the subscribe button on my channel, and make sure you have the notification bell turned on so you get notified when I go live or drop a video. This is my first video as Zone Trading Group. All right, that's a new group I created. We're rebranding the channel, rebranding the group. And if you guys like that, then join the team, all right? Join the team. The info is in the description below this video. That's all I have for you today in this video, guys. Peace and love from my end. Trade Mode James, signing out.